have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
The Adam Carricker Show. Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You look at a guy like Jonah Wilson, 6'2", 200. You got your Corey Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1. It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is Outside the Box here on 93.7 The Ticket as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey here on this Tuesday night with the Stars coming off of a great weekend last week, scoring a combined 19 goals and a pair of victories against the National Team Development Program. Joel Norman with you here, joined by the head coach of the Stars, Rocky Russo. And Rocky, a fun weekend at the Icebox. And as anyone who's watching on the live stream right now knows, you had a very enjoyable weekend all around, sporting the Ohio State gear today.
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, two big wins for the Stars and a lot of offense, a lot of really pretty goals too. I mean, it wasn't, yes, we overwhelmed our opponent and yes, we were the better team, but our guys made some big time plays and we dumped a lot of pucks into empty nets with the way we were passing the pucks. So that was exciting to be a part of. And then obviously getting to watch the game on Friday uninterrupted, no previous knowledge of what had occurred and being able to enjoy that and getting excited for a national championship game is pretty cool. We'll see what next Tuesday's mood is like. Obviously, you're very optimistic heading into Monday's national championship game. Maybe next Tuesday will be the beginning of that celebration. Yeah. I mean, listen, when you're a fan or what have you, you've got to be, optimistic. And I've been bullish on them all year, even when I've been down on them. And I'm like that every year. Sometimes deep down, I know they don't have it, but you still got to root for your team. And this year, I think they do. I think they have a team. I've thought that the whole time. The game against the team up north, I still can't understand because it just made no sense. But obviously, they've been playing like they're capable throughout the course of the playoff, and what a playoff run it's been. I mean, to obviously, you knock off Tennessee, then you go to Oregon for essentially a home game against them and knock them off. Then you go to Texas for essentially a home game against them and you knock them off. And Fortunately, it's not Georgia in the national championship. It'd be a home game for them too. So, but that's they put themselves in that situation, and now you got to go win one more.
It's coming up on Monday night. Stars with 2 games before then as well. I know we're going to be talking a lot of college football one way or another next Tuesday. If you got any questions for our show here today, give us a text 402-464-5685. I would imagine we're going to be getting a few here coming at score predictions. Let's start with that then, Rocky. What is your score prediction for next Monday?
What is my score prediction? Gosh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say 31-14.
Okay.
31-14, and actually 14 might be generous.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking if they're getting 14 points, it's probably garbage time.
Yes.
Or it's going to be fourth quarter, the starters.
I just didn't, I know they have a good defense. But I think that they're pretty headstrong on run and man. And I don't know, Texas kept that game close because they essentially triple covered Smith the entire game. And then the penalties. I mean, they shot themselves in the foot on multiple drives that were going to end in points, which completely changes the dynamic of the end of that game. Although it was pretty awesome to see Jack Sawyer finish it that way. But Ohio State's defense has been incredible. I didn't see enough from the Notre Dame offense to cause concern in regards to being
at
able
any
to,
point in the playoff. Either.
No,
at any point.
Their quarterback can run and do some things, but I didn't see him exactly flipping it around and throwing significantly against that defense, which I don't think is nearly the caliber of the Ohio State defense.
I think they can hold Ohio State to less than 30 points. I just would be stunned if they scored over 20 themselves. Just against Ohio State's defense with Riley Leonard at quarterback. I mean, if they're going to win, he's probably got to have at least 20 completions, which I also don't see that happening.
Not the way that their secondary's playing, the way that their front four is playing, and if JT and Sawyer can get to the quarterback, that's going to make it a challenge because he's not going to be able to run. He's not going to be able to sit back there and throw. And, can they shut down the receivers? And, they did a good job with Smith, but then, Ibuka's getting his and Tate's getting his and G. Scott and obviously Travion coming out of the backfield. Like those guys there's just too many weapons. You can shut Smith down, and he's obviously the best player in the country right now, but you can't stop them all. And Will Howard has proved to be a fantastic quarterback. And I don't think he gets nearly enough love for the way that he's managed things. And, they're talking about Drew Aller being a first rounder and how great Quinn Ewers is and everything else. And I don't know. I don't see it. I think Will Howard has been everything you could expect for a transfer quarterback, and clearly the best option in that room, and the guy that can hopefully lead them to a national championship.
I saw a photo today on Twitter of his left hand. He's got this bump that's like almost the size of a golf ball.
Yeah,
I did not realize
he hit
that.
it on a face mask, and it blew up in the middle of the game. They showed it a couple times, but that's part of the bumps and bruises of playing a physical sport.
Jeez. I mean, I missed that whole game on Friday because of ours and everything.
They have DVR these days, Joel. You could have sat.
They do. We had another game Saturday. Had to get to bed. Had to write the recap for the next day and move on to that one.
I still managed to get the video in, but
Yes.
it was a late night and an early morning.
Yeah.
I spent Saturday morning having a cup of coffee with the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, Mike Hastings, and he was in watching our guys and the 17s play this weekend. So he's a great guy, does a fantastic job. Had Minnesota State Mankato in the national tournament a couple times, and then obviously now in his second year at Wisconsin. So he's a guy that is no stranger to the USHL. His name's hanging in the rafters in Omaha in a different world when the Lancers were a little bit different program, but he's a guy that took the hard route when it came to junior hockey. 14 years of junior hockey before getting an assistant job at the Division I level and ultimately being a head coach. So he's a guy that gets it. He understands the process for the coaches and for the players, and it was exciting to have a head coach in the building. You don't get that all the time. Those guys are generally with their team, just like I can't get on the road very often. But they were off last weekend, and he decided that it was important to come in. They had a recruit for the 17s, and they're talking to another guy on their team and talking to a couple of our guys. So pretty cool.
And anyone who was watching the Stars last weekend had to be thrilled with what they saw from this team on the ice. You mentioned it, the 19 goals. That's our second most ever in a back-to-back day span that we've ever had. 8 goals in the first period on Saturday, tying a franchise record for goals in a period. Just it felt like every shot that first period Saturday pretty much was finding the back of the net.
What an awkward situation to find yourself in when you go down to the office at the end of the first period and it's 8-0. And the game is clearly over, but you've got 40 minutes left to play. And my wife texts me, she goes, it's going to be a pretty boring two more periods.
Yeah.
But that's a different challenge because you got to keep your guys engaged. You got to get them doing things the right way. You don't want to fall back on some bad habits, but in the same breath, it gave me an opportunity to get a lot of guys significantly more ice than they maybe generally would. And, somebody like Sandy has 2 goals and Younger has 2 goals. And, those guys are getting fed offensively that maybe they're not always getting those opportunities. We didn't use a regular power play unit at all on Saturday.
No.
We had all of our other guys during the power plays. In fact, I actually asked the referee not to call any penalties on them because I didn't want to have to put the power plays out there because Nick Four is a Stars alum, and I didn't feel right about running it up. Generally, that's not my philosophy. It's competition for 60 minutes, and whatever happens. But he's a good guy, and he's a guy that's been through this program and this community, and so I wanted to make sure that we weren't taking our foot off the gas, but we weren't sending our first power play unit over the wall every time up 8-9-1, 10-1, 11-1, whatever it was.
I think it was the first power play of the night you rolled out the 4th line, which had scored a goal or 2 already by that point, but it was still more of a message, like you said, of we're not running it up and let's get these guys some more ice time.
He turned and looked at me and nodded, and he saw what I did and he appreciated it. And like I said, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I'm a firm believer in competition, and you got to get out there and compete. It's not like I can tell the guys don't shoot or, you got to pass it 4 times before you shoot. This isn't mite hockey, right? So if you're not protecting yourself and playing the game fast the right way, then you'll get hurt. So the only thing you can do is give some other guys some opportunities that maybe generally don't see those. And so we were able to do that this weekend. And I thought those guys, Sandy and Jans and Della and Lefty and Cade and and those guys have been super important for us all year long. Don't get me wrong, but they're not getting the Jack Picard minutes night in and night out. And so, Sandy led our team in minutes on Saturday.
Might have been shots too.
He had a lot of shots on that. In fact, I'm surprised
once he got that
second
goal. Yeah.
And the guys were feeding him too. They were trying to get him that third one, but he had close to 18 minutes. So that's really good for him, his confidence. And he's obviously a very good player. He wouldn't be here, but and it doesn't matter what league you're in. Every player in the National Hockey League, if they're playing in 4th line or they're scratched, they're the best player that was on their team their whole life. Yeah. And so you have to recognize when it's your turn and what your role is and what your identity is in the moment and embrace that and do the best that you can. And so you want to be able to reward those guys for that willingness to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And we were able to do that.
5 games for the Stars this season, scoring at least 8 goals. Looked it up earlier today. Think about that in context with the fact that it's been done now 45 times in team history. 5 of those are here this season. There's been multiple seasons in a row where that didn't happen, but this team can light the lamp.
Did we go like an entire month without scoring 8 last year?
Holy cow! Yeah. Didn't have a single game. That's for sure.
That month of I think we had 7.
We had 7 against Sioux Falls, and then 7 against Omaha later,
and Dubuque.
That's right.
Yeah,
at them,
we won 7.
They hung 7 on us later.
They did.
They got us back, but you're right.
But we never got higher. And my daughters always ask for 10, and so
we got it Saturday
when it was 8. A couple times, Ronnie was not happy when we stopped at 9, and so we got the 10 and then the 11. They were both really excited the next morning when I saw them.
So yeah, they got the 10 there. That was the first time the Stars had done that since I think it was double check. I think it was 2005. Yeah, 2005, February 5th, 2005. Last time they had double digits.
I did hear through the grapevine in the middle of the game that the all-time Stars single game record was 14.
14.
And there was a part of me that wanted to go for that.
Who told you? Because I mentioned it to Ross after the first period. So I wondered if he might have passed that along. Corey did. Okay.
Corey must have known or whatever.
He probably was there for that one.
Yeah, he's like, I think we beat Cedar Rapids like 14-3 one time. And,
14-3, October 27, 2000.
How about that? That was only 25 years ago, and he remembers it. So, 14's a pretty big number. It's not it's one thing if it's a football game, but 14 in a hockey game is something else. So 11 was cool, and again, it wasn't. We were trying to be as respectful as we could, and those guys weren't out running their mouths or playing dirty or anything, so there wasn't a whole lot of reason to really stick it to them either.
It's like you said, especially after Saturday. Once the first periods were done both days, it was kind of like, okay, let's go through the formalities almost.
Well, I mean, even on Friday, it was 4 after the first period, wasn't it?
4-1.
So the game was hardly out of reach at that point, but
there was
control. We were clearly in control
Yeah.
of the game, and we kind of kept that pace up throughout the course of the game. And then, 8's a whole separate beast. Like that's, and the last couple were like, they weren't great goals. The other ones were, and then the last two just kind of snuck in.
Yeah.
And the 8th one, I kind of just shook my head and closed my eyes, and I'm like, can we just get to the intermission, please?
Did you have a period like that you could recall? Any level coaching before?
No, I mean, I've been a part of, guys having a lot of success, scoring a lot of goals and what have you, but no, I can't remember a period where we potted 8. Now I will tell you, playoff game, my first year in Amarillo, we were down 6-1 going into the third period of game 5 to get to the national tournament, and we won the game 7-6.
That's impressive.
And I think we scored 3 or 4 power play goals that period. So I mean, that was a whole nother level, because that's a playoff game. Your season's on the line, and that was pretty special. But I will remember that period, because it's unheard of generally.
I'd have to double check it. There was a stretch where I counted at least 3 goals in a span of 4 shots. It might have been more. I mean, it felt like for a few minutes, like, what about 13 minutes gone? It was like, get it on the net, it might go in.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like, their goalies weren't great this weekend. Now, the kid that started on Saturday, I thought was excellent when he came in relief on Friday.
He looked really good.
And then when he came out, I actually thought the kid that started on Friday was better, much better on Saturday. But, I mean, you're talking about seam plays, backdoor plays. Like, we were dumping pucks into empty nets because the guys were making that extra pass that was available. Whether it was Sandy, either one of Sandy's goals. I mean, on the second one, Della can just shoot it in the net, and instead he's patient. He makes a play to Sandy. On the first one, Henny makes a great play to him. We make a great play to Dash on that backdoor post. Like, Jan scored both of his goals on the backdoor post. Dashel scored a couple goals on the backdoor post. So we were getting to the net, and we were making those plays, and that's really encouraging to see, because that's something that we've really focused on in practice.
We had 4 different multi-goal efforts over the 2 days. Dash Oliver had back-to-back multi-goal games with 4 overall. We just couldn't quite get the hat trick. Did everything but that this past weekend.
That's okay. Speaking of Dash Oliver, it looks like we got the stat right.
14-0.
14-0 when he gets a point.
Yep.
Not when he gets a goal.
That was always the
right.
Yeah.
No, I was told that it was a goal, and that's why I was questioning you in the interview.
Okay.
Point totally makes sense, but because he's had multi-goal efforts, that's where I was confused.
Gotcha.
So 14-0 with a point for Dash, so we just got to leave him out there all night, make sure he gets a point. We'll be good to go.
Just 60 minutes of ice time, no problem about
he's
it.
in
right?
good enough shape for that.
Absolutely. 4 years. 402-464-5685, the telephone number. Love to have you join us here on the show. Get your questions in. So we're chatting Lincoln Stars hockey here on Outside the Box. Got a couple of special guests joining us in a little bit. Bruno Egan and Nick Young will be joining us. Nick's obviously coming off the great game. Bruno kind of came in, and he and Hunter Anderson are the 2 stars this season, Rocky, who in their first game with the team, they've lit the lamp. And I think both of those games, it was our first goal of the night in both instances. So it's kind of interesting how sometimes guys come in, you're really ready to go, but tell me a little bit about these 2. Let's start with Bruno and just the impact that he has had on this team just since joining it.
I mean, Bruno's a very talented player. There's no question about it. He plays a big, heavy, strong game. He can shoot the puck. He's got he's got to make an adjustment, and he's doing a great job of it. But an adjustment to hockey here in the States, it's a little bit different than where he was playing. Bigger ice surface over there, and a little bit of a slower, more controlled type of game over there. And but he's made a nice adjustment. He had a slight injury this week, so we held him out, more of a precaution. He skated on Friday and he was fine. He felt good, but knowing full well that we want to make sure he's healthy and ready to go down the stretch, we took that cautious approach. But he was an instant important addition. He's got 7 points in his first 7 games, and then Hunter Anderson is a stud. Yeah, he's a kid that destroyed youth hockey and had 1,000,000 points at Shattuck St. Mary's.
Unbelievable numbers.
Been a kid that's been successful and pointed in his junior hockey career. And sometimes you just need a change of scenery. And I think that the trade was good for everybody in regards to getting Hunter a fresh start and getting a player over to Sioux Falls that probably was never going to play here in Lincoln anyway. So it was a win-win for everyone. And Hunter's a mature kid. He's been through it. He's got a relationship with Schlaner. They played together at Shattuck, and you can see that instant chemistry between the two of them. And so they've had a lot of success. Pelly was great with them this weekend as well.
It's funny because, when Bruno Ejim was acquired, he came in right on that line with Schlane. He misses a couple of games. Hunter Anderson kind of slides in on that spot. Do you think we'll put those three together at one point, or is that almost too many left-handed shots for a line?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, my preference is guys play their offside. I think it's easier to manage your walls. I think it's nice to enter the zone with the puck in the middle of the ice. There's a lot of benefits to it, but you have to teach them how to do it. And the biggest beneficiary of playing his offside has been Aiden Jans. Aiden had a hard time last year on his strong side wall being able to make plays, and that hurt his confidence as a very young player. Obviously, he was a 16-year-old, but the switch to the right side has been fantastic for him. He can manage pucks with a stick to the wall. He can be patient. He can step to the middle and make plays, and his confidence when it came to breaking pucks out has gone up dramatically, and you could see it's trickled into the rest of his game. He's done a really nice job. So somebody can play the offside. Hunter's playing over there right now. He's not having any issues with it, but I left that line together. Obviously, they had a great weekend, so they'll start this weekend together. And Bruno, whoever Bruno plays with, he's going to have a massive impact. And so it's good. It just creates more depth for us. They're both definitely top six, quote unquote, forwards, and I think we have more than top six forwards at
especially
this point.
now. Yeah, some of these recent moves.
That's deepened us up. That's given us a forward group that everybody's capable of scoring. Clearly, we saw that last weekend, but it's hard to manage. You can't send your top pair out just against Jack's line and expect to be okay, because Schlane's line's rolling out after that, and so on and so forth with the rest of the group. So, whether it's Gio's line or whoever's center in that fourth line, Cade or lefty, whoever it might be, they've got good wingers, and they're ready to be a type of group that's gonna bring it night to night.
And last break before we hit the break here, let's talk about Nick Youngstaff with the 2 goals we mentioned this past Saturday. This is a guy who he debuted with this team about 2 years ago. It was in February of 2022. Was with the team all last year. 2 nice goals for him. His first 2 of the season last Saturday.
What a shot on the first one. And the one thing, Nick has continued to develop his game very nicely, but his offense is going to keep coming. He actually has an absolute missile of a shot, whether it's his one-timer or even his wrist shot. And you saw that first goal, he collects it and he rips it right by the left ear, and that's, nobody in this league is stopping that puck. And so the more he plays and the more reps he gets in this league and gets comfortable offensively, you're going to see him create a lot more, and he certainly has that ability.
It's been fun to see him just a few times when he's been on the power play, because he's got that quick trigger with the one-timer.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of a preview of what you're probably going to see next year. He'll be parked in that spot bombing one-timers, and I'm sure he'll be one of our captains next year too. His, more than anything, just seeing Nick mature and really start to take that growth from a mental perspective is fun to see, because he's such a great kid, but now he's got that pro approach to him when it comes to coming to the rink, knowing what he needs to accomplish and having success.
Looking forward to that here. We're looking forward to having Bruno Ejim and Nick Young joining us in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this. This is Outside the Box as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, this is Lexi Rodriguez, former Husker and now League One volleyball athlete. League One volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with our first serve on January 24th, 7 p.m. at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Witness history in the making as we take on Love Madison in our first ever home match. Visit lovboma.com for tickets. First serve January 24th. Be there when it all begins. That's lovboma.com for tickets to watch Love Omaha volleyball. Go Big Red and go Big Green.
The Adam Carricker Show.
Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You look at a guy like Jonah Wilson, 6'2", 200. You got Ja'Cory Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back again here on Outside the Box as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey ahead of this coming weekend series between the Stars and the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Lincoln is coming off of a pair of exciting wins last week, taking down Team USA's national team development programs, U17 teams, U-team, I should say, both nights, both on Friday and then on Saturday. And Lincoln combined to score 19 goals over the weekend. 8-2 win last Friday, 11-2 win last Saturday. We talked about some of the stats, just about the history of the Stars, man. Before welcoming our guests, I want to dive into those real quick again. Last Saturday, the 9th time in franchise history, the Stars scored at least 10 goals in a game. First time since February 5th, 2005. And Lincoln has already, as we mentioned earlier, scored 8 goals in a game at least 5 times this season. They've now done it 3 times in their last 6 games of those 5 instances. Back-to-back instances last weekend, the 44th and 45th times in franchise history, getting at least 8 goals in a game. They 19 goals scored over last weekend, with their second most in a 2-day span in team history. The current record, 20 goals, March 12th and 13th, 1999. A lot of goals and a lot of guys contributing in different ways. One of them did so last weekend. The other one before that, before he got hurt, a big contributor as well. Nick Young and Bruno Egan joining us. Guys, thanks for being here tonight. Nick, let's start with you. The 2 goals on Saturday. First career USHL multi-goal game for you. I imagine, though, in the moment, you were just thrilled you got that first one because that was the first of the season.
Yeah, it's been a while since I last scored, so it was a big relief. I got the monkey off the back. But it's a weird thing with points. It's when you try to focus on them, it's like you're less likely to get them. So, just kept trying to play the right way all year, and it finally came last weekend. It was good. I think that's like the most points I've ever had in a USHL game, so it was fun.
It had to feel great, that first one especially, just the shot that you were able to get off. You got it. You looked like you picked your spot and you got it to go.
Yeah. Picked my spot, beat the goalie. It was cool. I was super, super pumped. My family's in the crowd too, so it was cool.
That's really cool. I know a lot of guys had family in this past weekend, so that's just maybe got to have them for a few more games. Now. You're going to be doing that, right?
Good luck.
And Bruno, you joined the team in mid-December, and we talked about it before. Rocky and I did your first game with us. You scored that night, and you had a really good start overall. I think it was like 7 points over your first 5 games with the team. Got banged up a little bit this past week, just as Rocky mentioned, out with a precaution, but what's it been like here being with the Stars so far? It's always funky joining a team in the middle of a season.
Yeah, it is always a challenge joining a new team, new teammates, new league, new country. Everything was new for me. So, but yeah, I think the first few games went pretty good, and I think I fit in the team good, and I like playing with all the guys, and yeah, it's been really good.
What was the first conversation like about coming to play for the Lincoln Stars? You're playing over in Europe, in Croatia, where you're from, and all of a sudden, you're here in mid-December with the Lincoln Stars. How did that come? Who reached out to you? Was it an agent, someone else who kind of said, hey, there's an opportunity here. Let's see what we can do?
It was mostly my agent. He's been in contact with Rocky, and he reached out if I wanted to come. And that's how the situation happened. And I was thinking about it, and I accepted it in the end because I want to play college hockey, and I think this is a step closer to that, and a new challenge. And yeah.
How different is the USHL compared to the league you were playing in Croatia?
I think it's much faster because the smaller ice compared to Europe, and a lot of more skilled guys, younger, trying to compete more, make a name for themselves and stuff like that.
Nick, what's it been like having Bruno on this team? It felt like immediately he added a scoring punch we'd been kind of missing for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been great. I know it's my first game. Like, he plays with a lot of pace, which is good for us. And even away from the rink, it's been nice to have a roommate. Last year I lived with Mangan, so this year was a little different, not having a roommate at first, but it's been nice living with Bruno.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an element I don't think fans always think about. There's a lot of guys who do stay with some. There's several of you though who are on your own, your billet house. So you're on your own. You've got all the food to yourself in the place, but now you got to have someone else. How nice is that though? Just having someone else in the house with you.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like, just downtime after the rink, like chilling, maybe watching a movie or something. It's nice to have company sometimes, especially like when you're living far away from your family or something. It's not just like you're by yourself. I mean, obviously, like, your billets and stuff, they're great, but it's nice to have someone else who's like in the same shoes as you too.
And Bruno, what's that been like for you, staying with the Billet family in a brand new country? Because, like I said, I would imagine you've got a lot of questions for them just about stuff in the U.S. too.
Yeah, I do. But they are really nice. Nick is really nice, makes things easier, and yeah, it's much different than back home. But I got used to it pretty much already, and yeah, the billets are nice. They help with everything, cook, and yeah, it's good.
Very cool. What's some of the stuff you guys like to do in your free time when you're getting away from the rink, when you're not coming on a radio show on a Tuesday night?
I mean, I don't know. It usually depends. After dinner, we've been like chilling, watching some shows. I know our Billets grandson, he came over a couple times. We ended up playing like Nerf guns with them. Just kind of whatever happens. I don't know. It's different.
Bruno, what about you? What have you liked to do in your free time just while you've been here?
Here, I mostly just like chill, watch a movie, just try to relax and get more energy for the next day and just continue in a loop. To be honest.
We're settling into a pretty good rhythm right now. We came right back from the holiday break, and it was a funky schedule, but kind of getting into that weekly normalcy of practice all week, and then you play Friday, Saturday. And this week, it's Muskegon who comes into town, second in the Eastern Conference. We're currently second in the Western Conference. This should be a fun matchup here this weekend, taking on them. Nick, I'll start with you, where you head into a game like this, where we've seen a few times recently with this team, they've had a big performance, whether it's an emotional win, a high-scoring win. Sometimes it's been hard to follow those up, so to speak. Is that something you guys have been talking about this weekend of, hey, even though we did all this last weekend, we've got to be ready to go against a new opponent?
Yeah, no, like for sure. I think we gotta just stick to how we play, and we can't just think about the past and take that as like, oh, we're really good because Muskegon's a good opponent. But I think we could ride that high of having a lot of success and carry on like a bunch of the things we did right, and hopefully we can have the same result.
For someone like me on the media side, I look at certain matchups and I almost go, okay, this is kind of a measuring stick opportunity. Or, hey, how do we compare to this other team who we haven't seen? Do you guys ever think of it like that on the inside at all?
I mean, yeah, I mean a little bit. Like, I mean, every team in this league is really good, so it's really hard to win. So every team is if we face a new challenge, but I mean, we don't really look at the opponent too much. We try to play the right way ourselves and try not to beat ourselves.
Bruno, since coming to this team in the middle of a season, what have you felt like has been the kind of the MO of this group? Like when this team is doing this, we're playing really well.
I think compete level is a big thing here. Like mostly the team that competes the most wins the game. It's not. I think the skill is everywhere in every team. Like they have skilled players, they have a good roster. I think everybody can beat everybody. It's just the compete level and the energy, and I think that's the main.
Yeah, you've played on a line a lot with Daniel Schlane so far. What have you liked about him? He's been kind of known as a facilitator with this group, regardless of who he's been with.
Yeah, he's a great player, skilled. He can give you a pass from pretty much everywhere on the ice. It's great to play with him in the line.
And Nick, you've been, if I'm remembering right, you've been paired with Ethan Weber a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you and Webbs have been the same pairing pretty much all year.
Mhm.
These defensive pairings, a couple times in recent weeks, have changed, but there's been a lot of stability. What do you like playing with him?
Webbs, he's super good at breaking pucks out. He's always talking to me, and he's always like my relief option if like I'm ever in trouble. Like I know he's back there somewhere. He's got my back, and I think we play good together and we have good chemistry. So it's been fun playing with him.
It felt like at the beginning of last season when you were playing, I felt you were playing your best hockey. It was when you were able to jump up and kind of pinch a little bit offensively. Do you feel that you're at your best when you can do that as well?
Yeah. I like joining the rush, and so when I'm playing free and when I'm playing loose and I can jump up to the play and try to pinch, I think I'm at my best.
You think you're able to do that a little bit more with him?
Yeah, because I know he's back there. I know he's going to support me, and same for him. If he wants to jump up, I'll be back there supporting him too.
It's been amazing the steps you guys have taken as a decor. So many returners from a year ago. It was such a young group. You included in there. Really young team last year in general. Felt like a lot of you guys, I mean, whatever it was, maybe it was that playoff run, beating Waterloo in the first round, but there was something that just flipped, whether it was over the summer before the start of this season, where it felt like, hey, wait a second, this blue line is actually now an advantage for this team.
Yeah, experience is a big thing in this league, and we were young and getting that first year under our belts and the experience, and also we're all hardworking. We had good off seasons, and we got bigger and stronger and more confident. And then along with the experience, we took big strides.
It was such a big thing to see. We had you come back, Ethan Weber came back, Tanner Hendricks, Jacob Brombach, and it's been Griffin Brown to an extent too as well. I mean, it's just been. There's a reason why we don't have to have too many extra defensemen. Most nights it feels like it's, hey, we've got our 7 we want to have going. That's worked out really well. For Bruno, for you though, jumping into this forward group, there's similar to the D-core, there's a lot of guys who can play on any line in a lot of ways. And for you, is that something you felt like when you got here, and whether you were playing with certain guys or with others, you're like, wow, we are really deep at forward as well?
Yeah, I think pretty much all the lines, all 4 lines are like same level of skilled and compete and everything. So it's like a really deep forward chart. So I think that's a really good advantage we have.
Yeah, it's been fun to see the depth of this team. We saw a lot of guys get on the board different ways last weekend. We're going to take a quick break. We will have more to come in just a moment. It's Outside the Box as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey on 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln. Presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies with light winds. International high around 22. Tonight, increasing cloud cover with calm winds, a low around 13. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds. International high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Gleck, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one last time here on 93.7 The Ticket, chatting Lincoln Stars hockey on Outside the Box. I'm Joel Norman, chatting with Nick Young and Bruno Ejan. Our guests here as the Stars get ready for 2 games this weekend at home. We were just talking about the schedule off air a little bit. Muskegon comes to town Friday night at 7, Saturday at 6, and you get your tickets for those games now at lincolnstars.com. But, guys, this has been a nice little stretch of home games here. The last 2 weeks have been pretty normal. Things change up a little bit after that, but tell me about how you guys just enjoy these weeks with 2 home games for the sake of a routine. I'll start with you, Nick.
Yeah, it's super nice. We go on the days of the games, we get to go for morning skate, and then maybe like the guys have like a breakfast spot they go to or something, or you can, go home and take a nap. And I think that's a big advantage. You're not traveling, you don't have bus legs, but, coming up, we're going on the road and stuff. You just got to put that stuff like out of your mind and, just try to get the win anyways.
Bruno, for you, have you been able to develop a good routine here in about a month with the team for like these home game days where, like we said, it's the morning skate at home and then back home and then getting ready for the game that night?
Yeah, it's much nicer playing at home, of course. No bus rides. And it's pretty similar to Nick's because we travel together with a car because I don't have one here, obviously. So, it's kind of just the morning skate, go home, take a nap, go back to the rink for the game.
Nick, you've been in the league for the last 2 seasons. You played 1 game back in 2022-23. Do you have a favorite road place to go to in this league? We've been to a lot of spots. Now with playing the Eastern Conference teams this year, the only places that, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't been then would be Madison, right?
Yeah, we haven't been to Madison.
That's the only one you haven't been to. So do you have a favorite road venue in this league?
Last year we had a really bad experience in Green Bay, but that rink was pretty cool. Also, I like playing in Fargo. Fargo was cool. A couple weekends ago, Des Moines, that was kind of cool. It gets loud in there. But
I enjoyed Des Moines a lot.
Yeah.
I was a little worried. I knew it would be a nicer facility because it's newer, but I was wondering, boy, are they going to lose the crowd factor? Because Buccaneer Arena could rock, but that place was filled up and the energy was about the same.
Yeah, it was loud in there, but that rink's fun to play in. Yeah.
Bruno, you've been to Tri-City twice, so that doesn't help a whole lot for you for getting an environment factor in this league, but we'll play Omaha here soon, so that's always a fun one. But have you enjoyed the way the USHL? I shouldn't even ask that. How has the USHL schedule compared to what you were used to? Is it similar to what you were doing in Europe, where it was like, hey, a couple games a week, or were you playing more there?
It was pretty similar, like the amount of games, I think, but it's different for me here. With like we play one team like multiple times, and in Europe, I think most of the leagues have like 3 games between every team, and that's like the team for every league, I think. And here it's like one team 7 times, so that's like different, I think.
You get the opportunity to build up a little bit more of a rivalry, certainly in this league, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You got to see Tri-City a few times. I mentioned we'll play Omaha a lot here coming up, which is good and bad, obviously, because you don't want too much of one opponent, but that is a fun matchup every time those are coming up. But guys, as we kind of wind down here on the show, I want to ask about this weekend again with Muskegon. I kind of want to get your biggest key for this matchup with the Lumberjacks, because we saw them last year, and a lot of years they're a strong team. Nick, you remember that trip to Muskegon? Two really good games when we went to that building. But seeing them here this year, new team in a lot of ways. What's simplifying everything down to one thing? What is one thing the Stars have to do this weekend to walk away with all 4 points?
I think, obviously there's a lot of things we need to do, but I think the main one is if we just get pucks behind their D and just work them relentlessly on the forecheck and just force them to make turnovers, we'll have a lot of success.
Bruno, how about for you?
Yeah, I don't know Muskegon team really well, so I think I don't know. It's just compete them out, and that's it.
It seems like a lot of times Rocky likes to say with you guys, hey, we're focusing on ourselves. We're not necessarily focusing on the opponent. Is that nice for these ones where you don't have familiarity with opponent like we do some of our rivals?
Yeah, obviously we watch film on other teams and stuff, but we worry about what we can control and how ready we are for them. So it is definitely nice, and we worry about ourselves and we set ourselves up for success.
All right, looking forward to these 2 games. Should be a ton of fun. Second in the West versus second in the East, as both teams make to look and move us up the standings. Guys, thank you for joining us. Let's go get 4 points this weekend.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bruno Egent and Nick Young joining us. The Stars taking on the Muskegon Lumberjacks this weekend at the Icebox, Friday and Saturday. And as mentioned, tickets available at LincolnStars.com. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday at 6 o'clock here on 93.7 The Ticket.